So children, let's continue the discussion on periodic trends and properties. We have discussed up to point number 3, that is ionization enthalpy. Now we come to point number 4, and point number 4 is electron gain enthalpy. It's very simple. Electron gain enthalpy. Enthalpy is energy actually. Okay, anything which is measured in terms of heat energy is called as enthalpy. So usually we measure energies in terms of heat energy because that is the most common form of energy. All right. Now, whenever an atom, one single isolated gaseous atom, all right. So I have an atom which is all alone and it is in the gaseous state. Suppose it is gaining an electron. Any process that happens in this universe, there is energy change. I am talking, there is energy change. You are listening, there is energy change. So everything is associated with energy change. You have seen just now the losing energy, there is energy change. You have to supply energy and then electron is lost. Now, when electron is gained, that time also there is energy change. Now, how it will be? Now, when an atom gains an electron, so usually, an atom gains electron because it wants to gain electron and attain stability. So basically everything that is happening is in order to attain stability. So suppose this atom of, say, an atom say X, it gains a electron. Most of the time the purpose of gaining that electron is to attain stability, and whenever anything becomes stable, it goes to lower energy. Remember this aspect: lesser the energy, more the stability. I repeat, lesser the energy, more the stability. That is the reason. Suppose, after eating your food, you had little dal and little sabji which is left. You keep the dal inside the refrigerator, which is at lower energy. You will find that dal will remain intact even on the next day. But suppose that sabji, you have kept it on the dining table and you forgot to put it in the fridge. Next day you will find it has got spoiled because it did not remain stable, because it was at room temperature, it was at higher energy, lesser stability, so it reacted and it got spoiled. From this you can always keep in mind that the dal kept in the refrigerator at lower energy was stable, but the sabji kept on the dining table of the room at higher energy was unstable. If you remember this example, you will always remember lesser the energy, greater the stability. So suppose this atom X gains electron and it gains electron and it becomes X minus. The whole purpose, 99% cases, the purpose of gaining this electron was to attain stability, and when it attains stability, it goes down in the energy, and when it goes down in the energy is given out, and that will be and it is lost, and therefore that enthalpy change will be negative. On the other hand, I take another case. Suppose there is an atom of A and it doesn't want to gain an electron, but I force an electron onto it. Forcefully I give it an electron onto it. So when the electron is forced onto it, it is forced onto it, so it becomes, after gaining the electron, A minus. Of course, A minus will not be stable, and if it is not stable, so what will happen? So A minus will be like this. I will show it on the higher side. So this is A minus after gain of electron, and it has gone up in the energy, and in that case the energy change or enthalpy change will be positive. Whether it is negative, or I write here negative, whether it is negative or it is positive, this enthalpy change during acceptance of an electron by an isolated gaseous neutral atom is called as electron gain enthalpy. I repeat, the enthalpy change accompanied by acceptance of an electron by an isolated gaseous neutral atom is called as electron gain enthalpy. Now, what happens is, what happens is most of the time it will be negative, because most of the time it is gained naturally for the purpose of becoming stable to go to lower energy, and most of the time it is negative. In some rare cases, suppose an atom is electropositive, sodium is never interested in gaining electrons. So अगर तुम उसको जबरदस्ती इलेक्ट्रॉन दोगे, in that case the energy level will go up and it will become unstable. But in some cases it can be positive. All right. Now this electron gain enthalpy, so definition I've given, okay, and now I come to the factors. Now what are the factors? Everything matters for every property, but the two main factors I will say, one is the atomic size, and another is the electronic configuration. How atomic size matters? Just think of it. If the atom is smaller, okay, in that case the incoming electron is closer to the nucleus, so it will enjoy more attraction from the nucleus, so its entry will be easier, and in that case energy released, the negative value of electron gain enthalpy will be more. But उसी type का atom अगर if it is bigger, so in that case distance between the nucleus and the incoming electron will be more, the attraction will be less, so its entry will not be that comfortable, and therefore the energy released will be comparatively less. That's how the atomic size usually matters, not all the time. It is not a gospel truth, but most of the time it is like this. And another thing is electronic configuration. The electronic configuration is like this. Now if you ask me, an atom has got only 6 electrons in the outermost shell, another has got 7 electrons in the outermost shell. So the fellow which has got 7 electrons is more keen in gaining electron. So in that case, during the gain of that electron by that atom, the energy released will be more. So the atom having 6 electrons, that atom's electron gain enthalpy will be comparatively less than the atom which has got 7 electrons. That's why you will find for halogens mostly electron gain enthalpy is on the higher side. Okay. Now how it will be the trend? As you go down the group, the size of the atom becomes bigger. So distance between the nucleus and the incoming electron will become more, and in that case attraction will become less, and in that case the energy released will be less, and that means electron gain enthalpy by and large it decreases as you go down the group. And when you go across the period, I am not talking about group 18, it doesn't gain electron all that easily, but when you go across the period the size is becoming smaller, so distance between the nucleus and the incoming electron will become lesser, the attraction will become more, and energy released will become more. So electron gain enthalpy will increase as you go across a period. Is that clear to you? But there is an exception. The exception is in halogens, especially when you go down the group, especially in halogens. In case of halogens, so when you go down the group, so what do you expect in case of halogens? You expect the electron gain enthalpy to be like this. Fluorine should be more than chlorine, which will be more than bromine, which will be more than iodine. Fluorine is the smallest, and therefore it should have maximum electron gain enthalpy, and iodine is the biggest, so it should have the least electron gain enthalpy, but in reality it is not like that. We find that fluorine electron gain enthalpy is much lesser than what we expected. So therefore actually the electron gain enthalpy will be in this order: Cl will be maximum, less is fluorine, less is bromine, less is iodine. The point that you have to explain why fluorine has got exceptionally lower electron gain enthalpy as compared to Cl. That is explained on the basis of its electronic configuration or the electron density. Now, I will tell you, in case of fluorine, what happens. Fluorine, what happens is, this is the atom of fluorine. In the first shell, there are 2 electrons. I will show it in form of cloud. In the second shell, there are 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the case of fluorine. So, children, you must understand that in case of fluorine, second shell is the outermost shell, and in that second shell, there are already 7 electrons. So, in that small second shell, there are 7 electrons. So, therefore, there is high electron density. So, because of that, what happens when this electron wants to enter? So, it will experience a lot of repulsion from the existing electron cloud, and because of this repulsion, the energy which is released is lesser than what we expected. I repeat, it has got high electron density. So, the incoming electron experiences huge repulsion from the existing electrons, and because of that, energy released is lesser than what we expected. But this problem is not there with Cl. In case of Cl, the first shell 2 electrons, second shell 7 electrons, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 electrons, and third shell there are 7 electrons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This also has got 7 electrons in the outermost shell. Chlorine also has got 7 electrons in the outermost shell, but in case of Cl, third shell is the outermost shell. So, it is a bigger shell, and because of that, the electron density is not very high, and because of that, the incoming electron does not experience that kind of repulsion from the existing electrons, and because of that, energy released is as we expected. So, it is on the higher side, energy release, and that is the reason you will find fluorine, because of its small atomic size, high electron density, greater repulsion between the existing electrons and incoming electron, the energy released is less, and therefore fluorine has got lower electron gain enthalpy than chlorine. So, this is one exception that you have to remember in case of halogens. Alright. So, with that, we have completed the discussion of electron gain enthalpy. Now, the next discussion I will have in my next video. Is that clear to you, children? Thank you. Thanks a lot. God bless you.